I'm here in Ischgl. You can tell straight away there's loads going on. There's about 250 kilometres of piste and the infrastructure is bang up to date. But I'm here for the free ride, so I'm going to need to find a mountain guide.
So that's exactly what we did. After all, I only know Ischgl for its party scene. Little did I know there's an extraordinary amount of free riding to be had.
Hi, my name is Hannes. I work here for the local ski school in Ischgl as a free ride guide. Yeah, it's our very huge area. We have everything here. We have steep faces, we have mellow terrain, like the new cable car on Pizzwalgronda. It's very easy terrain if the weather is nice. We have everything here. You can do randonnée skiing. We have very long runs and you don't have to hike for them. You drop out of the cable car, get into your skis and just ski 800 vertical meters, which
Fantastic.
is really nice.
Yeah.
For sure, I always recommend to take a guide. The local ski school here is very good.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, start it easy. It must be easy at the beginning, you know. And the best way is definitely with an instructor or a guide. I recommend the Pizzwalgronda, the new cable car,
Yeah.
and to ski down to the Heidelberger Hut. That's easy terrain. If the weather is nice, it's easy to find and it's not too steep. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what about if you haven't got all the gear, if you haven't got your transceiver, shovel and probe? Is there anywhere to get it in resort?
If you hire a guide,
Yeah.
they're gonna give you the complete equipment. They're gonna give you a transceiver, shovel probe and an avalanche backpack. If you have to hire it, you have to go to the local stores. Sport Adler, for example, you can hire it there.
Nice and easy. So as we know, you can't always choose your conditions, but we've jumped in the E5 gondola anyway. The access, there's a fantastic free ride terrain here. We're going to see what things are like up at the top and make the best of it. So just checking the weather for today. It's pretty mixed. So one of the great things of using a mountain guide, we've been slightly unlucky with the conditions, the resort's slightly warming up and a bit of wind, but with a short hike up and a bit of local knowledge, we give ourselves the best chance of finding some fresh stuff.
Heading back towards the main resort, we decided to check out all things new and fancy, but demonstrate why Ischgl is one of the most unique resorts in the Austrian Tyrol.
So the good times continue out here. Conditions aren't quite right now, but when the sun's out, this is the place to be.
One being the Alpenhaus, a beautifully designed modern restaurant with a rather special VIP club one floor up.
Very swish. In particular, check the waistcoats.
But that's not where we were eating. Oh no. We made our way down to the main town via the Skyfly zipline to the restaurant Stiar, one of the many fine dining experiences here in Ischgl.
So here we are in the restaurant Stiar. The idea is that they take lots of locally sourced produce and create an absolutely fantastic experience. Hopefully we're going to be able to speak with the head chef Gunther.
My name is Gunther Döberl. I come from Austria and our restaurant's name is Stier, the dialect name from the bull. What we do here in the restaurant Stier is to serve new Austrian cuisine with products from our own farm, Maashof.
Exactly, so the key thing is you're taking locally sourced stuff, you've got a farm associated and then bringing it into a real Austrian experience here in the resort.
Yes.
Still is one of the newer fine dining restaurants here in Ischgl.
Yes.
How long have you been here?
Since 2004. But here we opened last year the restaurant, Restaurant Stier. We have I think 6 fine dining restaurants in Ischgl. We are one of them, and it's very interesting to come here to eat and have a nice skiing, and after you go après ski and good food at the restaurant Stier or in other fine dining restaurants in Ischgl.
Yeah, nice ski and then something nice to eat afterwards. Perfect.
That's it.
Wow, you are holding the camera while I get to eat this. Perfect. I'm a lucky boy, plate specially just for me. Oh, delicious. That's so nice.
How's that for a ski day? Now I see why Ischgl is one of the most popular resorts in the Tyrol. But it's not done yet. We've still got one more thing before our Ischgl experience is over. The legendary après.
So there's loads of après options here in Ischgl, so whether you prefer to head straight in off the pistes or go for something a little bit more sophisticated afterwards, one thing to bear in mind, boots in town are banned after 8 o'clock, so if you're heading later, drop them off at the hotel and come back afterwards. We're checking out the Schloss Lounge, and if things go well, maybe Pascha.
And whilst out touring the town, we met up with Andreas, the CEO of Ischgl Tourism.
A great mix there. Ski resort and entertainment with the top of the mountain concert and all the après-ski and all the nightlife as you can find as in a big city, but not only a weekend, we have every day here.
So, coming towards the end of our trip here in Ischgl, of course it's got sunny. It's a fantastic place. I had no idea how much was going on here. Loads of après, loads of skiing, loads of free riding. It's the sort of place you can exhaust yourself in every way.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully this guide will help you plan your trip to Ischgl, and if you need any more information on what to expect from Ischgl, or indeed any other resort worldwide, visit skiclub.co.uk.
Tight loose means...
Tight loose?
Here we go. Slough race. Oh. Yeah!
This is steep.
Oh my god. That was sick, dude.
It's a good phrase. It's what the TGR boys have been living by for the last 21 years, and it's been working. Keep it tight, let it get a little loose, but always keep it tight loose.
Yeah, dude.
Oh. Wow.
No way. Oh, that was loose. That was a little loose, dude.
Rob Creighton, International Sales Manager, Big White Ski Resort.
Big White has always been built just as a ski resort, and it's not actually even open in the summer. It's a winter resort. Our season starts usually around the beginning of December and will run through until mid-April.
It always snows here. It never rains at this elevation, and we have 2,500 vertical feet of perfect powder snow surface.
Yeah, the resort in general, it's located halfway between Vancouver and Calgary. If you're familiar with Canada, we're in British Columbia. We're known as Canada's favorite family resort, located outside of Kelowna, British Columbia. So to get to us, it's quite easy from here. Aussies think that we're quite far away, but you can fly Air Canada via Sydney, Qantas via Sydney, or Air New Zealand via Auckland. So very easy to get to, very popular with Australians. We're actually owned by Australians.
It's a really unique weather system. You get the wet air coming off the Pacific that collides with very dry air down in the valley. We're actually just above a semi-arid desert, so the snow is dry and light and beautiful all year round.
Because of the dry snow, a lot of people can get introduced to skiing powder here where they don't have to necessarily be on a steep slope. They can be on a fairly gentle slope because the snow's so light they can go through it.
Yeah. The Mount Buller crew, we're familiar with them. We actually sponsor the Mount Buller Race Club, so very popular. However, our owners used to own Mount Hotham.
It's a very rugged mountain. We've gladed a lot of the terrain as well, so there's some great tree skiing, there's some really good steeps, and there's also wide open groomed cruisers.
Everything here is skiable, whether it's on a trail or off-piste a little bit through the trees.
Mother Nature put the resort here, and we just simply took advantage of it.
So the resort in general is, like I say, is Canada's favorite family resort, and it goes from we go from 1,500 meters up to 2,300 meters. So it's a little bit lower than maybe some of the Colorado resorts, and a little bit higher than say for instance a Whistler. So we get 7.5 meters of snow a year, and that's really what we're known for is our snow and the quality of snow because of our inland location.
Big White and the Okanagan is sort of smack dab in between Calgary and Vancouver in the interior of BC. So it's only about a 40-minute flight from Vancouver, about an hour from Calgary.
You do not need a car. You do not need any type of transportation other than your ski or your snowboard, because everything's ski to, ski from. All the restaurants are within walking distance. It's a pedestrian village.
Favorite hangouts? Well, I like to hang out at Big White in general, but for fine dining, probably 6 Degrees is really good. If you want to go out to a nightclub or a pub, probably Snowshoe Sam's.
A lot of places you're on a bus for quite a long period of time, whereas here, you dictate the pace. You get out of bed when you want to get out of bed, and you go for a slide. You can go back to your chalet or your condo for lunch.
So you really not only get that ski in effect, you actually get the ski out effect where you can walk out of your lodging, put your skis on and ski down to a lift.
We're located at bigwhite.com, and lots of useful information there. We've got videos of the resort. There's 360 views of accommodation. There's aerial photos and lots of information there. And actually, if an Australian logs into our website from Australia, it'll give you everything that you need, I guess, that an Australian would need to know.
We're very fortunate with the accommodation because we really do have the whole gamut. You've got everything from a youth hostel on the mountain to your own small apartment, and we've got it all the way up into units like this one here where you've got beautiful appointed luxury accommodation, private hot tub on your deck, just a great winter experience to have. We don't have crowds, we don't have lineups on the lifts, so the pace here is pretty relaxed, and I think that carries through to the way the staff treat the guests on the mountain.
We pride ourselves on being Canada's favorite family resort, and when it comes down to family, obviously we need to take care of kids, and we think that we take care of kids really well here. We've got programs for all ages and ability levels. Kids often progress at ridiculous rates. They're from brand new skiers and snowboarders to up on the chairlift within a few hours.
Big White has a myriad of different dining experiences here. We can go from the top end in our fine dining environment here, like the Kettle Valley Steakhouse, all the way through any of the walk-up cafes and bars and restaurants that you'd find in the village.
Once you're here, you're here. Everything is within walking distance, so it's the convenience factor combined with tons of great snow and a beautiful resort village that just is the ease of access. We're really a stressless holiday.
It really relates back to the people serving you dinner at night or making your beds or tuning your skis. It's not a job to them, it's a lifestyle. And when you can work in a lifestyle that you love, it just reflects on our guests, and it just makes for a happier vacation for our guests.
Rob Crichton, International Sales Manager, Big White Ski Resort, Canada's favorite family resort, and you're watching skitv.com.au.
It's DWA TV and we're here at Falls Creek with one of the guides, Pip Purser. And Pip, welcome to DWA TV.
Thank you very much.
And Pip, tell us about how you got involved in the first place with the program.
I think I first saw you guys up here when I worked up here, just skiing around, and everyone always looked like they were having fun. And then a friend of mine was involved through work, and he always said, you know, you should come up and have a ski with us. So went for a ski one morning and loved it, and then waited until I had the time to join up, and yeah, loved it ever since. So it's been 3 years now, and can't get enough really.
And what are some of the great experiences you've had with DWA?
I think the thing that gets me coming back is just the joy really, and going back to that basic level of fun and people having fun and experiencing something new. I just love it.
I suppose that sense of freedom when people think they're trapped in some ways, but on the snow they're just like everyone else.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And tell me some of the interesting characters you've run into that you've either guided or had interaction with.
Oh, lots of them. I think everybody's has their own different personality, and that's what I've really loved getting to know. Lots of different people from everywhere and all different backgrounds, and people coming to us from, even guides coming from medical backgrounds or teaching, or just hearing about us on the street and joining, and just the different stories of everybody is, I don't know, there's so many. Hi, I'm Pip, I'm a DWA guide, and you're watching DWA TV.
Previously on 7 in 7, the boys had an adrenaline-fueled day in Innsbruck and got a little bit scared. Day 5 started with a 20-minute drive out of the city to Axemer-Litzum, a favourite ski resort among Innsbruck's weekend warriors. Axemer-Litzum is a small purpose-built resort which hosted many of the alpine skiing events for the 1964 and 76 Winter Olympics. As we only had a morning to explore the resort, we enlisted the help of local pro skier Andy Nietzsche and spur art owner and madman Mickey Freeman to show us around.
Terrain, just have a look outside. It's like all the couloirs and all this, like easy accessible. It's good. Don't come, no too many skiers then.
It's a great rock. See outside, it's almost like Dolomites in Italy. We have these rocks and also great faces. And yeah, it's only a 15-minute drive to my home place, so you can get up there pretty early, get some nice turns, and then go back to university.
We knew that Mickey, on his handmade wooden skis, and Amplid skier Andy were going to be fast, but we weren't prepared for how fast they'd be.
And gave me your heart. With you I would fly in a special place, cruising the sky and outer space. And then karma police shot me down, stealing you without making a sound. I think of us even today, but losing you was the price I had to pay.
I've tightened up, need to get my mind loose. Have a little dip, slip into the right mood. The night's new, rhyme still the type to stride till it's getting light, smile and surprise you. I might do. Looking for trouble, love might find you. I might do, maybe get like you.
I hung out with Andy Nietzsche, pro rider from Amplid, and it was awesome. He took us down some, well, crazy stuff for me. How was it for you?
It was alright, could have done with maybe a little bit fresher snow for the landings, not quite so crusty, but it was still very good. absolutely hooned down the pistes, which is fun.
No, I'm going to be honest, following 2 pro riders was a bit nerve-wracking. Didn't want to stack it.
You know I'm not pro, right?
Do you see me standing?
Next on our schedule was an hour-long drive to the Zillertal, probably the Tyrol's best-known skiing valley. We'd been invited up to an old farmhouse high above the valley floor called the Backyard for a traditional Argentine asado. That's a barbecue.
I've tightened up, need to get my mind loose. Have a little dip, slip into the right mood. The night's new, rhyme still the type to stride till it's getting light, smile and surprise you. I might do. Looking for trouble, I might find you. I might do. Maybe get like.
What's the vibe of this place? What happens?
Basically happens is created a place that is like different to a lot of other places and different to a lot of other hotels and pensions where people have expensive prices and basically just a big industry. We try to keep the soul alive here and just people coming who want to ride, who want to go in the mountain, go straight and just enjoy in the evenings, not crazy party, but chill in the hot tub, have a barbecue, have some music, have a party.
Yeah.
Like private stays and yeah.
It's a good vibe, right? Just a few beers after riding, relaxing in the hot tub, looking over the valley.
Pretty much.
That's the life. Give you a cheers to that.
Cheers.
I get warm. Oh yeah. Oh my god, that's hot.
It's completely unlike staying in a big resort where there's people hustling and bustling around, the bars are full, there's noise, which is cool, but if you just want to hang out, have a few beers, you're away from everything, sit in a hot tub, have some barbecue, it's awesome. And then you can get to the resorts, you can skin up the mountain, it's so chilled.
I reckon it's quite unique for an Austrian place because a lot of places you stay in Austria, they're good, definitely always good value, but here you trade off a bit of convenience, you're a bit away from the main town centre, but you know, I think it's a small price to pay given that you're in a place that is really unique, and I think for anyone that spends a weekend here or a week here, it's definitely going to be more memorable than your standard cookie cutter 3-star hotel or apartment, that's for sure.
You certainly don't get a view like that.
Barbie. Yeah.
Let's get the barbecue.
Cheers.
By the way, just quickly, Jürgen didn't tell you, you guys at dinner, he's just cooking you up.
I suspected as much.
That's what it feels like.
Temperature.
They're good English beef, right?
And noodle soup.
Prost.
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 Oh, that's good. Das ist gut. That's good.
I think Obst.
Yeah. I think you bought it.
The Backyard is a truly magical place to spend some time. Hosts, Jürgen and No, have created a hostel-style lodge that is homely, friendly and incredibly relaxing. From the wood-fired hot tub and sauna, to the bits of old snowboard that Jürgen has lovingly upcycled into pieces of furniture and fittings, the Backyard is about enjoying the simple things in life. Nature, friendship and of course, schnapps. And it must be said, they do a pretty mean barbecue too. Next episode, we visit the Zillertal Arena, then head back to Innsbruck for the legendary Air and Style event. In January 2015, 3 friends, Rob, Phil and Tom, that's me, set off on a week-long adventure around the Tyrol region of Austria. Our goal? To visit 7 ski resorts in just 7 days. Although there's no reason why any sane human being with a car full of ski and snowboard gear would ever want to change hotels every single day, these 7 webisodes will show you why the Tyrol is still one of Europe's top ski destinations. So where did we go? We'd fly into the heart of the Tyrol, Innsbruck, then jump in a hire car and drive an hour west to St Anton. After St Anton, we'd wake up at the crack of dawn, repack the car and drive to Ischgl. From Ischgl, we'd drive through Stans by Landeck, up the Osttyrol Valley to Obergurgl. We then drive back to Innsbruck, stopping briefly at the Langenfeld Aquadome en route. While staying in Innsbruck, we'd get a funicular and cable car up to Norrkötter, then make a short drive to Axmilitzum. From there we'd make our way to the Zillertal Valley, where we'd ride knee-deep powder at Zell am Ziller. From Zell, we'd jump in the car and head back to Innsbruck for the Air and Style, then drive an hour east to Kitzbühel to go free riding with local legend Matthias Hauni. Shattered, we'd burn back to Innsbruck, jump on the plane and fly home. After landing at Innsbruck airport, we grabbed our hire car and drove 5 minutes up the road to a small workshop in the centre of Innsbruck called Scour.
Hello, come in.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Let's take a look.
For the past few years, Mickey Freeman and his team have been offering keen skiers and boarders the opportunity to build their own custom skis and snowboards in his workshop. Courses run for just one weekend and give customers the opportunity to be hands-on and to build something that is both completely unique and beautiful.
There was like a guy who was building his own skis, and I was like, oh, you build your own skis, you freak, what's up, what's wrong with you? And then I just saw that, and he just like told me about like there's many people doing it, and I just got a bit deeper into it, and just like I found that website. It's skibuilding.com or something, I don't know, and it's like all explained like how to do and presses and what it's all about, and then we just like figure out let's do a few, and then I calculated and I was like like if we just do 1 or 2 it's never working, so let's do more, and then that's how we kind of started.
By accident you started the company?
More or less, I had a plan, but like yeah, we just didn't know what comes out, and that it works that good, we never expected it. It's an easy thing to build a ski, but you need to know the recipe. But we show you that. That's a part of it, that we just don't make a miracle behind like how to build a ski and put no button to switch or what's on in it. We just like produce super simple and basic and like take the best materials we can take, and that's actually like the principle of our ski production.
From camber and rocker profile to shape, length, width, and even the individual materials, it's possible to create anything from a race ski to a free ski at Spur Art.
And how does this get put together? So I picked up
like you know, I just let me start here. You think we have the form, you know, this is like the form, the table. Alright, and then we have like the first layer of fiberglass. Then we put the core. Then we put some more fiberglass. And then the top sheet. And that's the ski.
That looks good, but that doesn't look like you could ski on it.
No. Try it. Try it. Take the core out.
How does that then get made into a ski? So you cut. It's already cut.
No, this is like all done by epoxy resin.
Okay.
Epoxy resin is the glue. You know, that is like you know, first layer, like the base. You just like put the resin on. Then the fiberglass comes like with the resin. Then the core. Then the fiberglass with the resin, and then the top sheet, and like we put that in the laminating form and wrap it like with a vacuum bag, and like and press it. The vacuum bag presses it in that form, you know, with the camber, with the rocker, with the shovel, and all this.
We could have spoken to Mickey for hours about his passion for ski and snowboard design, but an hour drive to St Anton was on the cards, and Phil was getting hungry. By the time we arrived at St Anton, it was snowing quite heavily, so we parked at our hotel, the Altus Turnierhaus, St Anton's oldest building, and headed into the night to find some traditional Austrian food.
Oh, look where we are! In St Anton, we've arrived at our hotel. We're just going to go off and get some eats. That's the cue. Ooh, smooth. We're at Griesvet. We're in the Griesvet. And we're having a little Gaudi, as they say. A couple of beers. A few beers, lovely. A few of those lovely Austrian beers.
Yeah. Tonight we dine on Tafelspitz.
The next morning we were up bright and early. A fresh blanket of powder covered the slopes and we were keen to beat our fellow holidaymakers to the top of the Galsic barn. After a few warm-up laps, we met up with a gang of newly qualified British instructors who were now working in local ski schools. This group of school leavers had spent 4 weeks at the beginning of the winter training for their Austrian teaching qualification, the Anwärter, with British instructor training specialists, peak leaders. If anybody could give us an inside guide to St Anton, it was these guys, so Phil and Rob got to work questioning them, but not before a cruise around the mountain. St Anton is a truly world-class resort, with a network of state-of-the-art lifts which access wide open pistes and challenging off-piste quickly and very comfortably. Despite a few tumbles in the fresh snow, we had a great morning trying to keep up with the young bucks, then learnt a little bit more about their life as young instructors.
And what's good about St Anton?
Skiing.
Skiing.
Après ski. Definitely.
Did you guys speak German beforehand? Or?
No, I spoke.
Well, we did. Really?
Yeah.
Did you just come along and learn it all here?
Yeah, we did on Peak Leaders. We did some German lessons, which helped quite a lot. But
so that's before you came out.
No, the first 2 weeks we were here.
Right. Okay.
Peak Leaders was like a month, and we did the Anwärter in Peak Leaders.
Right. Okay.
It's the best thingy in the world. Like you go up the Galsic and then you ski down number 8, which is like 3 or 4 minutes of complete bliss just going down this route which looks over into the valley into St Christophe, and every morning we're just like so amazed by kind of like it's so cool.
Nice. And after it's the end of the day,